class, and welcome to the instructional video on how to complete the lesson plan cards assignment for ECS 116. So we're going to go ahead and take a peek at the assignment under the assignment tab located in the main menu of Canvas. So here we have lesson plan cards. What you can see here is that I'm asking for you to submit 4 anti-bias diversity lesson plan cards. You could perform them with preschoolers. However, I am not asking you to implement these with children. So I am asking you to use the California Department of Education preschool curriculum frameworks in your planning, and you can locate that document here under modules. Also, that the cards need to be typed and need to follow the format below. So you would actually be able to copy and paste this into a Word document and then go ahead and fill in the title of the activity, what the curriculum area will be, and know that you're going to choose from one of the 4 different areas in the preschool curriculum frameworks under the social studies area. So we're not going to be doing math or language or any of those. We're looking specifically at under the social studies area of the curriculum frameworks. You would pick one of those. Then you need to have an age group, which I'm asking for preschool at this time. That's 3 to 5 years old, and then a group size. So we generally do not want to place more than 8 children in a group, just so you know. Unless you're thinking about doing it with a large group of children, take into consideration that for very young children, it's hard to hold their attention that long. Then you're going to have a goal and a preschool curriculum framework strand. So the goal you're going to tie to one of these 4 areas under social studies in the preschool curriculum frameworks. And then you're going to tell me about 3 objectives. And we also call those strands in the framework. So you're going to want to check that out. Also here you would list any materials that would be needed. And then the procedure. So the procedure really is kind of a step-by-step process of how you would introduce the concept to the children, how you would have them explore the concept either with materials and or activities, and then ultimately how you would check to see that the children are going to be able to have learned what you expected here in these measurable objectives. So each card's going to be worth 10 points, and there's 40 points total on the assignment. So I do have a couple of resources for you. Here is an actual lesson plan document card. Here's the grading rubric. We're going to take a look at that in just a second. And here's a social justice curriculum model table that I also wanted you to take a peek at. So we're going to open that up. Oh, it's very small. Give me 2 seconds. There we go. So social justice curriculum model components, when you're thinking about that, overarching all 4 lesson plan cards, you want to take into consideration the philosophy of the social justice curriculum model, the theory, any beliefs that we have about children and how they learn, instructional strategies, unique characteristics, and educational goals. So you don't have to turn this in. That's basically just kind of like a planning portion prior to you securing the lesson plan form here. So then we also have the grading rubrics. So I want to take a peek at that with you. So I'll be grading each one of the 4 forms based on this, your 4 lesson plans. So the first thing is did you prepare it and submit it as requested? So plans were submitted complete, typed format prior to the due date, no grammatical errors. And then I'm going to take a peek at those goals and objectives you selected. One is I want to know, was it based on the 4 that were outlined in the curriculum frameworks? Were the objectives measurable? Was it actually incorporated into creating a culturally appropriate, meaningful plan? Then I'm going to look at your materials. So with materials, I'm going to ask myself as I'm reading your plan, were the items safe? Were they relevant, engaging? In other words, children need to hold something. They need to do something. They can't just be sitting there listening to a story. How would you create interest in the topic? And then also note this carefully. Special attention was made to provide materials that were anti-biased and reflected the community. Also, we have the procedure. So the procedure here, I'm looking for you to make sure you've contained a purpose and detailed description of the steps you're going to go through that should be followed by a teacher, and that also you're going to go back in the class and include some of those multicultural educational strategies. And the strategies are also included in the curriculum framework. Here's where we're looking at an engaging activity where children have an active participation point in the process of learning. And then lastly, I'm looking to make sure that you put in connections to the curriculum framework strands that aligned with your activity. And again, that's going back to the preschool curriculum frameworks to do it. So let me just take one last look before I finish. So I'm going to go to the module. So in the module 7, that's where we're working on this assignment. I wanted to just kind of show you that we have the book called Family Partnerships and Culture, which also has a big piece of multicultural education in it. It is a big PDF, so it takes a little bit to be able to get it to open, but know that in the table of contents there's a whole portion here about implementing curricula. So you definitely want to review that prior to submitting your lesson plan assignment. And then also the next resource that I want to share with you in the module is the preschool curriculum framework. So we're going to go ahead and open that up, and we're looking at social sciences or social studies. And that actually takes place here with the bear. So as we go through this document, let me scroll down. There's different sections, and so you can see right here under, too fast, slow down, under history, social science. If I scroll a little bit more, it actually goes into these guiding principles, which could be strategies that I've talked about, referred to, equipment and materials. And there's one last thing I wanted to show you, which is the different areas, these strands. So you can choose to do activities in self and society, becoming a preschool community member, sense of time, and sense of place. So I'm really focusing here on these strands in terms of your 4 choices. Okay, so if you want, when you're ready to submit it, you can submit it through the assignment link back over here. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. You can reach me at troki@hancockcollege.edu.